everyone. I'm Maya,
This is Shane.
and this is Tap In Nap, where we talk to the hustlers, the movers, the shakers of Naptown. And today we have Mike Williams with I messed that up. Salamat.
Salamat. You got
Salamat.
it? Salami.
Salamat.
We should start selling salami, I think. It'll make it easier for people to say it.
Yes. So, first things first, tell us about you.
Wow, I was actually born in Indianapolis, Indiana. Like looking the way that I do, nobody really thinks that I'm from Indiana. You know, they think I'm
You
from.
look a little racially ambiguous.
Yeah, I
And
always
with the
got.
bun, you look real foreign.
I just
You
put
know
that
what I'm
up
saying?
recently.
Yeah.
Letting it grow out a little bit, and
Yes.
I was always called like Mexican or Puerto Rican growing up because there's not much representation in Indianapolis, and so I ended up getting like a Filipino tattoo. Just say like, guys, I'm Filipino, okay?
Yes.
You know, but grew up on the East Side. Went to Warren Central
Ooh.
High School. Through a beautiful time. The first 4-peat and high school football history, which is kind of nice. You know about
You know y'all was turned up.
Oh,
You know
it
y'all
was crazy
turned
on the East Side, and
It's always crazy on the east side. Like,
it is-
what?
yeah, well,
My bad, east siders.
we far East Side.
They know.
We said far East Side.
Yeah, but we turn up on the East Side. You know.
Yeah, y'all do.
After high school, I ended up going to IUPUI downtown.
Okay.
And got my degree in electrical engineering, and I was an engineer for a few years, and then which led me out to California, which I just got back 2 years ago. I mean, shoot, at the onset of COVID, really. And then that's when Salama Cookies started, which it was just me looking at Mama like, "Hey, Mom, I want to be a dad one day who brings cookies to soccer practice or something." You know,
That
just
is so cute.
you know, just like the cool dad who's like,
Mhm.
"Hey, I got the cookies. What's up?"
Mhm.
You know, and then but now we've served over 100,000 cookies since starting Mother's Day 2020, and just so proud to be in Indianapolis and representing Indianapolis all across the country. We've now also shipped to 49 out of the 50 states. Wyoming, that's the only state.
Hey, Wyoming,
So
let's
if you know
go.
somebody,
Let's go.
If y'all know somebody in Wyoming,
So
you know,
you shipped to Hawaii and Alaska?
Yep.
Okay.
Anchorage and Awa Beach.
Hey, okay. So you got some nice warm cookies. You know,
Oh,
throw them in for the
yeah.
Alaskan folks.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
What are some of the cookies?
Oh, I thought you'd never
That you
ask,
brought.
Shane.
Yes. Hey, y'all,
These
looking on
are-
his Instagram, the cookies, you just want to eat them. Like, they look so good.
Yeah. This is our variety pack. If you'd like to check it out. Yeah. So we're just known for our really vibrant, colorful, and just very tasty cookies.
Yes.
I don't want to touch them all.
Oh, man,
You guys are gonna be few.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And please enjoy, because a lot of people have never had a purple cookie. A lot of people have never had a green cookie. The first cookie that we ever started off with was our, here it is. And see how it's cold?
Hey.
Yeah, they bomb. Trust me. I bought me a dozen.
So I was stalking the Instagram, and this is the one I'm like, I really want to try this one. So
It's busting.
I'm so happy I got to try it.
What's that flavor?
So we call it, so it's our ube cookie. So ube is native to the Philippines. It's a purple yam. So it's kind of like a sweet potato, less sweet, but flavor notes of like warm vanilla and nutty pistachio.
Okay.
You get that? And how you're trying it right now, like this is new for us, like freezing the cookies, especially during the summertime, and it helps us on shelf life. Oh yeah, oh please do.
It was frozen.
Oh yeah. Oh, that green one. So that's Landito. That's Oreo Rice Krispie treat.
Right here?
Yep. And then we got the
Oreo Rice Krispie treat?
Oreo Rice Krispie. You see it.
I'm gonna go for that one.
It's actually named after my nephew Landon. And I said, if you could have any cookie in the world, what would it be? And he said Oreo Rice Krispie treat. And so we made it for him. We get the snap, crackles, and pops.
Was it ASMR?
Yeah.
It is busting.
Yeah.
Not I took the whole cookie, like, this is so good.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah,
say
we
something.
go.
We gotta say some cookies for, but it's so cool seeing
For the crew.
seeing folks trying our cookies for the first time, because we just want to have just a very memorable experience. Like cookies tie back to something very emotional, like very nostalgic for a lot of us. And especially during COVID when we started, a lot of people couldn't go back to the Philippines
Yeah.
for few years. And by like literally biting into like an ube cookie or a pandan cookie or a mango cookie, it literally took them back home. And I think that was one of the things that made our cookies a little bit more different, and it got people excited. Like, wow, this makes me think about like growing up back in the Philippines.
Yeah, that
Which
nostalgia.
brings me to my next question. How do you feel like your cookies help with the community, your community, or the community in general?
From the very beginning, like our motto and mission was to bring people together one cookie at a time. Like during COVID, like the onset of COVID, like no, like even in Indy, nobody could really go see each other because they were like, we don't know what this thing is. We ain't trying to, go through all that. But
Get you some cookies shipped though.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Yes.
And that, like, people started like ordering cookies from all across the country. We were like, whoa, like this is crazy. And locally, even before we started started shipping like heavy, just people locally were like, oh, I can't see my brother or sister or like my nephew on the other side of town, or I couldn't see my mom, but like I want to order some cookies. Can you deliver? So we bake, and I would drive all around Indianapolis
Oh,
delivering
wow.
cookies.
Yeah, I remember that.
That
Man,
is so dope.
that was I always remember it was Thanksgiving 2020. It was actually right before I got COVID actually, and was driving around Indy 240 miles around Indianapolis in a single day, and 16 hours of deliveries.
Wow. Nah.
So no Grubhub, no
this is
Uber.
just-
this is you
this is
all
just
in the
me.
field.
Yep. And seeing
This
That's
is
dope.
also before gas was 5 something a gallon.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
no, like
you
for
know,
real.
it'd have been an upcharge.
definitely would have
$20.
Yeah.
Wow, that is really really cool. I just want to go back real quick. So you were an engineer, at least an electrical engineer, and just I think that's amazing. So did you get tired of engineering, or did you just feel like I just have a need to want to bring my culture to Indy? Like, what was that? What was that for you? How was that for you?
It was interesting. Whenever I moved out to California in I think it was like 2014, it was with my engineering company, and I ended up living with my uncle and auntie in Upland, California, which is kind of like Inland Empire, just outside of LA.
Okay.
And they had a coconut company, and so just by living with them for like, because I ended up living with them for like 9 months, and then I just started becoming this like coconut guy. Like, just started getting an affinity to coconut because it was always there. So like coconut oil, coconut vinegar, coconut cereal, coconut wraps, like all these different things. And I was
You
like,
can do so much with coconuts.
oh, you could do everything with coconut.
So you got some cookies with coconut, right?
Oh, so our vegan gluten frees have coconut oil, and even that one right there is top with toasted coconut. We toast that in house, and they just asked one day. They're like, "You want to join the family business?" And I was like,
Absolutely.
"Yeah."
Absolutely.
Coconuts. That sounds like out on the beach somewhere, collecting, tranquil, just.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Actually, it started off in a warehouse counting bottles of coconut vinegar, which was not very.
Oh, my
you got
God.
the chump work at first. They say you got to put in some work.
Definitely.
Oh my gosh.
But that was actually because people ask me about that all the time. Because they're like, you're leaving your engineering career. Like at the time, I like sharing this because it's not always about money. Like at the time, I was making about $80,000. I didn't have any expenses other than my car and my bed. I invested in my car and invested in a good bed. And so it just engineering allowed me to get all my photography stuff. We're talking about photo stuff and get into that. But I left an $80,000 a year job to count coconut vinegar for $36,000 a year. But they were like, we're going to teach you how to run a business. And I didn't know what that meant. I because I know my dad, he was an entrepreneur selling diapers on the corner of, 25th and Keystone. And, I was just like, all right, I feel like I have an entrepreneur spirit. So let's go, like, let's get it. And that's how that transition first started. And then
So that was your thought. I can be a business owner. So that's why you left.
Yeah, and there was something about
Got to be a little more.
there was something about being an engineer. I got the challenge, but it wasn't something that was moving me. It wasn't something. And then whenever it was like, oh, this is the family business, like I can invest my time, my energy, my creative prowess, like just to help grow our family business. And you know, that's what really pulled me. And so I ended up leaving and ended up working for the coconut company for 3 years until I left and to do like freelance photography and videography afterward.
Okay, so that brought you back to Indianapolis.
What actually brought me back here was I was in Ireland during the very beginning of COVID.
Oh God.
Like my roommates in LA, they were like, "Bruh, you shouldn't come back here." Because it was a hot spot. It just became a hot spot.
Oh yeah.
And
They shut
they're
it
like,
all
"Bruh, like, nah, bro, you don't come back to LA." And I was like, "I want to sleep in my own bed." You know, like when you've been traveling, moving, like I want to sleep in my own bed.
I invested all this money in my own bed.
And so I ended up coming back to Indianapolis, just because it wasn't a good time to go back to LA. They didn't really feel comfortable, and I was like, respect. But I was like, shoot, like if I'm here, what am I gonna do? And I think we all picked up something.
Oh yeah, that
during
was
COVID.
the time of the hustlers, right there, boy. It's all seemed to kind of trickle off after they started giving out those stimmies.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But shoot, they finna give me free money while I gotta hustle.
Give me that PPP,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, now niggas is paying lawyer fees.
Yeah.
It's okay. They had the money though. They're fine. It's okay.
Right.
And it helped out a lot of people who were like really really struggling, and even at the time, like I think that's like a mindset. Whenever Salama Cookies started was like I actually didn't get my unemployment. Like I didn't get anything up until July. So imagine March all the way through July. I never thought I was gonna get anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden because I was just baking these cookies because I wanted to be the dad walking up to soccer practice holding a bag of cookies like what's up. And then I was handing them out as thank yous. Then one day they asked like, "Are you selling these cookies?" And I ran back home. I was like, "Mom, they want to buy the cookies." And that's
okay. So
that's really
dope.
like that's what Salama means is thank you, because literally I was handing cookies out just to say thank you to some people who were still helping me out during COVID.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have any photography work. We like got a little bit of work at the very beginning, but was just trying to figure out something. And so I was like, well, since I can't pay anybody anything right now, here's some cookies just to say thank you. And then that's how Salama Cookies got their name, because it was just literally thank you cookies. And then somebody asked if I was selling them, and then I was like, yeah. And then I was like, Mom, you want to do this with me? She's like, let's go.
So wait, you're in business with your mom?
Yeah.
That is so cool. So like, was she like all for it at the beginning, or was she like, is she retired or anything?
Retired.
She's like, I'm living my retired life. Forget that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. Or was she like, yeah?
She's like, this is my son, and I want to do whatever I can to help him.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I don't think she knew, or even I knew, that it would get to where it's at today. But man, like Mama is a hustler. She is a like she gets after it every single day. Like we'll work, a 12 or 14-hour shift, and then she'll come home, eat, and like just be ready to go back to work. Like I think that's just the immigrant mentality.
I was just about to say that, man.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody from here doing that. You got about 3 months of good labor from people, and then it's over.
Listen.
It's so like that's something that I'm constantly reminded, because you don't really get to know like your parent like that until you like work with them. Like because you're getting into vulnerable situations. They know you as like little Mikey or little Maya or little Shane, and they're always gonna see you as that, And then so it's like that journey of like that you're growing, but also accepting like they're just being mom.
Yeah.
But sometimes
I was gonna say that was
tension.
gonna be my next question. Do you all bump heads?
Oh, all the time. I'm not very proud to say this, but I actually say it proudly because we made it through it. But I was about to fire Mama.
You cannot fire. She can
I
fire
was
you.
about
You
to
can't
do it.
fire her.
I was about to do it because there was just things of like clear business directives and taking things personally, and I was very clear about what the things that we needed to do because it would cause stress on the back end. It was just all about baking extra cookies.
Mm-hmm.
It just because sometimes you have
money,
a last
less
yeah,
time.
exactly. And let's say you bake exactly, and then you have a part of your batch like you burn like 12 cookies or something, or you're walking, you turn and you hit something, and then you drop some on the floor, or a last minute order comes in. And whenever you bake extra, you'll be like, oh shoot, yeah, I got y'all. I can fulfill that. And then that's like a customer service, like, oh, they got me, even though, I missed the
Last
deadline or
minute,
something like that.
yeah.
And so learning all that and just working with mama, like she immigrant mentality, she just wanted to bake just the right amount. And it was 5, 6, 7, 8 times in a row that something happened. As a small business, stuff happens it is not as glamorous as people, running my own business. And
That's why the 3 months.
exactly.
That's something that needs to be stressed. Like, you don't just wake up one day and your business booms.
Correct.
It's a lot of, I would like people to talk about their struggles with their small businesses, because when you talk about your struggles with your small businesses, people want to, I mean, at least it's me, I want to know about that kind of stuff because I want to know what might come up if I decide to start my small business or anything like that. Because, I mean, realistically, we're in a microwave society, hot in, hot out, kind of thing. And it doesn't work. And I would love people to see, like, hey, this is the glitz and the glamour of it, but also this is the rough moments. I'm gonna have $10,000 days, and I'm gonna have maybe $0 days. You know
Negative,
what I mean?
negative days.
Negative. So,
in the red.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, man. As much as like I've been in like the corporate world, right? So I was in the corporate world for 3 years as an engineer. And now we just celebrated our 2-year anniversary, Mother's Day of this year.
Hey,
The fact we're still here is a blessing. And
Wait, Salama?
yeah.
Salami.
Salami.
Salama.
There it is. Yeah, there it is.
Salama.
Yeah.
Hey, Salama, I got it.
We was gonna get it before the end of this episode.
Yes, Salama.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so Salama Cookies has been around for 2 years now, which is it's just really a blessing. But now, having experienced both sides, I understand why folks would want to have a job. Why they would want to have structure, because a paycheck is coming in. At 5, maybe 6. After that, you can kind of disconnect from work,
right,
and just go to a slow pitch softball league and drink beers with your friends, and binge some Netflix, or just chill, or just do your side hustle, and now you have constant money coming in. And now that time after work, if you're not too drained, now I can, I was a rapper before too. So I'd be writing, or
you're just so multifaceted. But we'll get back to that. Keep going.
Yeah, and I think business is really about, and this is something I'm learning about every day, and I'm sure you guys can attest to that. And it's discipline, because it's being consistent. Even
That's
it's like the dollar, the dollar tomorrow, not the dollar today. Sometimes that dollar comes in today and it's like, hey, like, let me take the team out to eat and we're doing good. Or, oh, let me get me a new pair of shoes because like I have lower back issues. So I need some nice cushy shoes in the kitchen because I'm standing there all day. And then all of a sudden, it's low, and then, oh shoot, like a piece of equipment breaks or something that I didn't account for.
I'm definitely learning about that, man.
Or like a wind blows one of these lights over or something like that, and then
didn't pop for the insurance.
Yes.
So there's so many different because I think a lot of us, and this is a philosophy that's come recently, is like a lot of us really rely on motivation. But motivation is so up and down.
Got to be self-motivated.
Yeah, like self-motivated. And even whenever you're not, but at least you're disciplined when you're not on those days that you're not motivated.
Yeah.
And that helps to get you through to the next up. But that's one of the hardest things, is staying consistent, because where are we going to get that energy from? If we're a words of affirmation person and we don't have a team around us giving us words of affirmation, like, where do we get that? So
how do you keep going?
Yeah. I'm really big into prayer. I'm really big into meditation. I just hit today will be 32 days in a row. And this is something that I
Of
had
meditation?
a meditation, yeah.
That's
My
discipline.
man, that's what I'm trying to be
Yes.
on, man. I got my
It's
crystal with me.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
and there's different things that give people a little bit of like, out of sight, out of mind. You'll see your crystal, and then it'll be like that reminder to meditate that day. So I'm a big reminder person. So like that's something I haven't really shared with a lot of people. Whenever Salama started, because I didn't have much money coming in. Like I was just learning how to bake these cookies, and all of a sudden we were starting to get support. But I had a 136-day Bible streak. So I was in scripture for 136 days in a row. And I was on my meditation streak for 117 days. So whenever I got to that place, it was just like I always made room for it.
Yeah.
Like always made room for. I would be, like with my buddy when I moved back to California. We were about to go on a hike before we came back, and I was like, "Hey, bro, can I have a quick 15 to just meditate real quick?" And he's like, "Yeah, do you?" Or it'll be 2-3 a.m. and I haven't meditated that day, and I was like, I got to do it. And this is something. This is for me. This is for everything that I stand for, like my consistency. So I'll do it. I'll be meditating, and then as soon as I meditate, I'll fall right to sleep. So.
Oh yeah, that's.
And then one day it was like one of those 2-3 a.m. days, and I didn't get into my Bible app, and it went back to 0, and I was heartbroken.
Yeah. Now you can't say, well, for this many days,
man. But I ended up doing it, and then I had a good friend who reminded me sometimes whenever you get back to day 0, it's like you're at day 0, but you have so much more perspective than you did last time you started your streak. So it's just getting back on the bike and just starting to pedal again. So I think just staying consistent with meditation and scripture for me, those are the things that really keep me on track and give me my North Star.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was one of the biggest struggles in the beginning when it comes to starting? I don't even want to say it because I got it right the last time, so I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Salami.
Just
Just say salami. Just call it salami cookies, and then all of a sudden,
don't do that, bro. You'll have everybody in this.
Hey,
have salami cookies.
Hey, we put bacon in a cookie, and we're trying to bring in. It's called lechon. It's like a roasted pig.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's crispy on the outside and like pork belly soft on the inside. So we're thinking about like putting some lechon, like a lechon maple white chocolate.
Hey, let us know, because that sounds great.
That's good. You got some of the most exotic cookies I've ever seen. And I was honestly, when you first started, I was like, how many flavors is this man about to come out with? Like, I mean, how many flavors you got total that you've released of all, like?
Keep them coming.
Now we have 32 flavors.
Okay, I was going to say 30. I thought so.
I was actually asked, I was at my, he's actually one of our interns. I was at his 16th birthday party, and then they asked like how many flavors you had. And I always thought like in my mind, because I hadn't really gone back and got them. I was like, yeah, 29. And then they were like, can you rattle them off? And I was like, oh gosh. And then just found out that we had 32 because there was like 9 people, and they were just like, can you do it? Can you do it? I don't know if I want to do it right here, right now, because there's a lot of
so
you can try, we can cut it if.
So, what is your favorite? And I want to hear like they're all my babies, but like, what is your favorite?
They're definitely all like, because like a lot of times now they're like, would you ever go back to engineering? I'm like, I engineer cookies now. What do you mean?
I was gonna say,
absolutely.
would you rather leave your job or leave your dream to go work for somebody else? Those are the people you really got to fight against.
Because it is sometimes like fighting against like the status quo and what's traditional, because there is a liberation in that, for some people, and some people just enjoy being in that structure. But when it comes to cookies, it's called what's a turon. So turon in Philippine culture it's a deep fried plantain with jackfruit, topped with a cinnamon sugar glaze.
Is that in there?
Not
How
currently.
you not going? Oh, are those the premiums? Those are the premium ones in the upgrade.
We rotate our cookies every month.
Okay.
And so we're trying to get better at doing it every 2 weeks, because we just have so many flavors that haven't seen the light of day for a while. And it's like, man, people got to enjoy this. But we decided to put that into a cookie, and we named it What's a Taron, just so like people ask like, what's a Taron? So we can also educate and just make it fun, But you have that cookie frozen. It's like eating like frozen banana bread ice cream with caramel on top. It's just so
Yes,
good.
you definitely got me with the freezer joint with this. Like, and it's still soft. Like, I'm sure with fresh out the freezers, not 100 degrees outside. I'm sure they cooled down or they warmed up
But
a little
even
bit. But
even out, even fresh out the
yeah,
freezer, I always
that's
tell people, it's like, just like, did Mike just tell me to eat this cookie straight out the freezer?
it's soft.
And you bite it, and it, because it has like that little tear, it just
Yeah,
tears. And so we're connecting with a few local like ice cream shops, coffee shops, to be able to serve like hot coffee and ice cold cookies.
The way that you explain these cookies, you just need to like do your own commercial, like AMSR thing, like these are
Mm.
our cookies, and just
Shoot, maybe we'll connect with Set Three and we'll make it happen. You
Yes,
know?
I think you should. I think
Yeah.
you should.
yeah, I'm
I
with
think
it.
you should.
And because I think you were asking about the struggle at the very beginning.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, uh, I think is whenever, like for me personally, like I'm an acts of service kind of person. So whenever people support the business or people just do things for me because they see that they can help like an area that I've been struggling with, and they see it and they're like, oh, let me help you. Like I just feel so encouraged. And there were some times when whenever you're running a small business, you're wearing so many hats, like
Definitely
every
understand.
hat, and like talking to my therapist, she was like, write down all the things that you do. And I was like, wow, I do so many things on a day-to-day basis. And so there'd be times when I just didn't feel like supported, even though, like, let's say business was coming in, or things seemed good from the outside, and we were getting orders. But like, sometimes you're battling with those feelings. Everybody has feelings. Like, for people on the outside looking in, it's like, oh, everything's great. But sometimes you're like, man, like I'm not feeling good right now. Or like, shoot, my hip, before I had full hip replacement surgery, like I'd be in the kitchen, and then all of a sudden, like my back would tweak. And then but I'm not sharing that with people because it's cookies and it's lighthearted, and it's like I have to kind of play in this, like almost like a facade of like everything's okay.
Right.
Well, and everybody got struggles. You feel me? What
Yeah.
makes yours more important than somebody else's?
Yeah, and-
That's what I feel like affects a lot of people, because they will, start that woe is me bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And now you're just sitting there unmotivated because you have something that you can blame it on. You know.
There's a book that I'm reading right now, or it's an audiobook. It's called The Courage to Be Disliked. And it kind of touches on that, where it's Adlerian philosophy. You had like Carl Jung and Freud, and then this is the third big player in that space. And it was just talking about how we all have a goal at the end of the day. Like, let's say somebody doesn't want to do something, so we'll fabricate a story that, I mean, that's real. I mean, it's just like, oh, like maybe I'm not this kind of person, or like I'm a product of my past. And whenever that happens, it's really hard to move forward, because you're so caught up in this story or narrative that you created for yourself to justify why you're not moving. And so you just said that whenever you get into a like woe is me kind of space and you want to feel supported, it's like, what do you do to get out of that space?
Right.
What do you do? What disciplines do you have to get you back on track, even though things don't feel good just right now? Because we're always going to have something that doesn't feel
most
good
definitely.
right now. And how do we move forward from that? So
I like the fact that you brought up a few things, spiritual life. I love that you brought up therapy and things like that, because I feel like as minorities, these are things that get brushed under the rug, because it's like we live in a society where like we have to go 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 do, and like if you're hurt and if you're struggling mentally and keep going. But I love the fact that you were so open about your spiritual life, you going to therapy, because that's things that people need to hear, especially when you're doing your own thing. You're not living getting that 9 to 5 paycheck, so that's another thing that I love that you talked about, especially for small business owners, because they need to hear that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to have your not so bad days, but it's also okay to get back on the horse. Like,
definitely.
I
That's a
appreciate
must.
that. I appreciate that.
It
So
wasn't easy really getting into that space. And it's like I've had my first therapy, that was back in like maybe 2017,
Mhm.
2018 and that was like right after my dad passed away. So, whenever you lose a parent, it's just like, or you lose a family member, whoever. And I lost my grandma or my Lola and my father in the same year within 5 months. And those are the two people in my life who I really confided in the most. I don't think I let them know that. It was just those were the two, and like I love my entire family, but you have those
No,
people in your
most
family
definitely.
who
Yeah.
you just feel like you could just be yourself, and then they care about you just because you are you. They ask you how you doing, and it's like, how are you doing? It's not
Mhm.
like just saying hi or something. It's
Right.
like, how are you doing? Like
Mhm.
tell me like how
Like,
you're
no,
doing.
for real, how you?
Genuinely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so that was really the inflection point where I was like, I can't, as much as I try to look inward and try to do this all on my own. I was like, I need some help,
Yeah, of
especially
course.
if I don't have those people who normally would help me in this situation. And so I'm so for therapy, life coaching, because sometimes we just need that outer voice that can
Yes,
look at what we're
definitely.
doing objectively. Because if this inner voice is like the loudest voice all the time,
Mhm.
oh man, and
That's the one you don't listen to.
oh man,
Don't
Yeah.
listen to that one. The quiet voice.
yeah, definitely.
Unless your
And then you
quiet
put
voice
on the
is
Quiet
fucked up.
Storm with Jerry Wade on
Yes.
106.7.
Yes. Yes, definitely. So, is there anything else that you want everyone to know about your company, about any more side hustles, about who Mike Williams is? Is there anything else?
Thing about our cookies is lifting others up. That is so big for me. I grew up in a time where like I grew up in a lot of tough love.
Yeah.
I'm sure like growing up in like Black communities, and families like this, it's a lot of tough love. Because I didn't learn that my big sister was so tough on me until I was like 28, 29. I was asking like, why were you so tough? She's like, Mikey, this world is a tough place. And I was just trying to get you ready for that, being a big sister. But also at the time, I didn't have somebody who was telling me that what my sister and my big cousins were saying was like, don't, just brush that off. Like I started to believe those things about me.
Yes.
So it kind of made me like recluse and,
Mhm.
I was friendly Mikey, but like now I was in this place of like wanting to be liked by everybody because I didn't feel like my family liked me. And as a 33-year-old now, like I'm starting to learn about those things. And so just about what we do is just wanting to see everybody else win.
Right.
We want to win, and we want to
Most
see everybody else
definitely.
win as a result too.
Most definitely.
And I think sometimes like being in a place like Indy, everybody's doing their own thing, and somebody's doing something that's very similar to what I'm doing, and now it's competition, and now I don't want to see them because like now I'm insecure about myself because
I was about to say that.
yeah, it's like
Lack
I'm
of
seeing them
confidence.
do great things, and then all of a sudden now I'm looking at myself and I'm like comparing myself, but like people aren't meant to be compared. Products are, but not people.
Right.
But we're so comparing kid, like, oh, favorite kid or favorite cut, like we're not supposed to compare people.
Right.
I like
But
that.
that's just something that we do, and that's like a constant like journey for knowledge. Like I heard that in a podcast the other day, and I was like, wow. Mike Todd is Mike Todd, Transformation Church out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's like, yeah, like if you have a product like water A and water B, like you can compare those, but like sun A and sun B,
Can't compare them.
like what happens when you do that? You start pinning them against each other, and we're supposed to be lifting everybody up. So I think if anybody like tries our cookies, like that's really our mission is lifting others up, bringing people together one cookie at a time, and really sharing a culture that I'm very, very proud to be a part of.
Absolutely.
Being Black and Filipino, and we do share certain aspects of like Black culture too. Like one of my favorite culture, I consider
The fried
Hennessy.
chicken cookie.
I consider
A watermelon
Hennessy.
cookie.
Oh, we actually have.
Gotta get a little racist.
We
on
actually
that.
have was a grape juice cookie.
Oh my god.
I was about to
Oh
say.
my god. Hold on,
You
wait. Speaking of, I want to go back to the East Side thing. So can you jigglate? Do you jigglate? You far East Side? Get in there.
I used to drop it like it's hot whenever I was, and I used to walk it out. You know?
Okay.
I mean, I'm still healing a little bit, so I don't walk it out that much. But I gets down.
You get it?
I gets down.
Okay, so I like to
Yeah.
hear it. Well, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you. Let us know where we can find you.
We're really big on Instagram, Facebook, and our website. It's all Salama Cookies, SALAMAT Cookies, on all those different platforms. And we Salama Cookies on Venmo too, if you want to send us a little something.
I know that's right.
No Cash App, because that's a scam. I'm playing.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Maya.
I'm Shane.
And this is Tap In Nap.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry that took so long, guys.
It's all good. Hey, you rocking with it, bro. Appreciate